4 secrets the land gurus don't want you to know. My name's Sumner Healey, and in this video, I'm going to unveil what none of the gurus want to tell you. If you guys are new here, I run a company called landinvestor.co. We help folks start, grow, and scale 6- and 7-figure land businesses. landinvestor.co/apply to come talk to the team and I. You know, it's really interesting. Every week we have 25 to 40 folks schedule calls with the Leah team to learn more about Leah. And one of the things that we found is that a lot of these folks come to us with these preconceived notions or these notions that they've heard elsewhere that we really have to start to unwind. It's almost annoying the level of damage that's been done by just the level of misinformation out there. So let's talk about number one. You see a lot of folks out there being pitched a get rich quick scheme or quit your job in 3 months or make money overnight. The truth is you won't see a single return in this business for at least 6 months. And 6 months is even ambitious for most. It took me 8 months before I even got my first contract in this business. You know, what we see inside Leah is Leah members who get their first deal in 3 months. That's the contract though. Then it typically takes another month to 2 months to sell the deal and then another month to close it. So it means we're not seeing cash hit our bank account for at least 6 months. And in that time, you are going to be outflowing capital towards education, towards marketing, towards tools, towards software, towards all of it. So you are going to be in the red right off the bat for at least 6 months. If you have dreams of quitting your job in 3 months or 6 months or even 12 months, you're out of your mind. Slow your roll. The next one is that land investing is a lie. Nothing that we do in this business resembles investing. We don't buy these properties for the long haul. We don't hope they're going to appreciate. No, what we do is we run this as a business. Imagine that you run an e-commerce company or heck, you even own a grocery store and we happen to be selling land in the grocery store. That's the widget that we offer people. Or same thing on your website. Instead of selling cat sweaters, you're selling land. That is a business. Frankly, this business looks a lot more like e-commerce than it does investing. And so what does that mean for you? That means there ain't jack squat in this business that's passive. Find me one business that's truly passive as a solo operator. It becomes passive when you have a team of 5, 10, 15, 20 people, but there's still work that has to be done on your behalf. The work just looks different. In your first few years, this will be a grind. There's nothing passive about it. In fact, I'm petitioning to change land investing to land business, because it's a land business. And number 3, this might be my favorite. It's all money is in the FU. No, not like that FU. Inside all of my companies, I call follow-ups FUs. It makes me crack up every time. But it's true. You know, a lot of the gurus talk about, hey, send some mail out, have some deals come back, sign purchase agreement, do a little dance, make a lot of money. That's ridiculous. When we send mail out, sure, a small percentile of the deals we do are just lay down deals. They just come to us on a silver platter, but you don't build a business off of that. The crazy thing is, this is the crazy part, is you actually can be profitable just doing those deals. But if you want a big honking land business with crazy return on your marketing costs, all the money's in the follow-up. You know, one of the things that just gets me going, just gets my blood flowing is when my team locks up deals from leads that are super old. In fact, just this Wednesday, my team closed a deal where the lead reached out to us February of 2022. We've been working that lead for over a year and a half. And that deal's got a $30,000 spread. Like, it's a profitable deal that most people would never put the time into. Now, the truth is, this is going to be really difficult for you to do while your business scales. That is why we build acquisition teams. That is why, frankly, that's the most important department in a land business, is because you need people all day, every day, working these leads to get the most juice out of them. You know, the health of your land business really comes down to something called ROAS. It's return on ad spend. This is a direct response marketing business, right? The health of direct response marketing business is how much money can we put into marketing and how much do we get back out? Well, some of that return isn't just related to the marketing or the strategies. It's also related to the sales side about how you work those leads. You know, if a lead reaches out to us in our land business, we will call, text, and email over and over and over and over and over until we get a hold of them. Most people won't do that. And once we get a hold of them, we'll work them until we get a yes or a no. And a lot of times a no from a seller means say, hey, no, not right now. The mindset shift that you have to think about is some stranger reached out to you from an unsolicited piece of mail offering to buy their property. What does that tell me? That tells me that there's some level of motivation there. Maybe we don't agree on the terms yet. Maybe we don't agree on the price yet, but they are motivated. Think about it like this. If I send out 10,000 letters, I'll get 50 leads. That means 9,950 people weren't interested or just didn't see it, but also mostly not interested. Now, out of that 50 that reach out, 10, 20 of them will be tire kickers. The rest are interested, but the trick is finding the timing. Timing is everything. Some people will come and they're ready to rock and roll. Some need 3 months, some need 3 years. You need to work them. And this is quickly where you start to see, holy smokes, this isn't like investing. This is like building a business. And last but not least is that small deals will keep you stuck. Now, this one hits home because I was a small deal guy for a long time. We would sell hundreds of these every year. The cool thing about small deals is that the return from a percentage standpoint will always be larger on these than bigger cash flips. We had deals that were making 400, 500,000, 1,200% returns. You're not going to see that on these bigger properties. But the problem with this business model is it's this vicious cycle. You never have big liquidity events that allow you to reinvest into the business and to grow substantially. So I always found myself on this hamster wheel. It was like, I couldn't build a big team because we didn't have enough cash flow. But if I wanted to get bigger, I needed a team. So that meant really reducing our profits or slightly taking an L temporarily while we invested into the business. Now, in principle, that's not wrong, right? That's what you have to do. But the thing about the strategy that we teach is that every month or every quarter, whatever it may be, depending on your marketing cadence, you will get deals that make you 100, 200, 300K in profit. Now, they might only be 100% return deals, but that's why we use deal funding. And so when we get these big liquidity events, we can step up to the next level. It's the same thing with creating wealth in your own life. It's a lot more realistic to build wealth through a big liquidity event, and then you take that money and you invest it. It's very difficult to slowly invest your way to having tens of millions of dollars. I mean, if you start when you're 12, maybe, but for most of us, that's not a reality. So to grow a big business, we need to invest into the business. And the easiest way to do that is by having these big liquidity events that allow us to step up, opposed to having this business where you're doing deals all day long that only make you a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 per deal. And the way we can step up to bigger deals is by thinking about this as a business, as in building the acquisition team, as in building the SOPs and the process for how we handle seller leads, for how we handle the operations, for how we handle disposition leads. You can run a very disorganized small deal business and make money, but you'll never actually take it to the next level. The problem that I see with a lot of these small deal folks is they're opportunists, right? They'll just take anything that comes across their desk. Oh, make me $200. Oh, make me $2,000. Do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that. Nothing about their business is systematic. And partially it's because they're not thinking about it through the lens of a business. Now, I always talk about this idea of building a conveyor belt. My land business and our students' land businesses are like a conveyor belt. We get really granular on the kinds of markets we want to work in. We build a process around that. We get really granular on the kinds of properties we want to go after. We build a process around that. We get really granular on how we handle those leads. We build a process around that, on and on and on again. And so what happens is you get this conveyor belt where land starts here and there's processes all the way along here until the very end, cash hits your bank account, right? And typically that's a 6-month cycle. So we send out the marketing and 6 months later that cash hits your bank account. So the work that we do today, we get paid on later. But to do that at scale, you need a repeatable system for it. What you can't have is a conveyor belt where you're running down the assembly line doing everything yourself. Or worse, having a conveyor belt or assembly line where you build shoes and you build cars and you build houses on no. Get granular on the kind of business you're running, the markets you work in, the deals you do, things like that. So this is the 4 secrets. Frankly, there's many, many more quote, unquote secrets people don't share, but I think that's the most relevant if you're a new land investor. A lot of your success is going to come from how you frame this business. And keyword there, business. Frame this as a business and watch what unfolds. So you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. We got many, many more videos. We made over 1,000 videos in the last year because frankly, I love doing it. Any support means a lot. Thank you guys so much. Take care.